What did you learn at school today? That's what the teachers used to say, but they don't know, don't understand, do they? Why? Do they always give advice, saying just be nice, always think twice? Well, it's been a long time since they had a teenage life. SmackDown. We kick things off with the WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan, accompanied by Eric Rowan. He is wearing a hideous gilet, truly some of the best heel work in the game right there. And he doesn't say a word, he just gestures to the Titantron and a video begins to play. This video recaps Kofi's journey to the WWE title match at Fastlane, a match, of course, that he was removed from last week on SmackDown by Vince McMahon, replaced by Kevin Owens. Damn you, Vinny. Bryan says that last week he sat and remained silent as all of you, the WWE Universe, gushed over Kofi Kingston. Gushed. And now it's time for his turn to talk and all of you to remain silent. Bryan says that Kofi is exactly where he should be. He's out with his buddies The New Day in India doing a promotional tour, and then he runs down Kevin Owens for being a bit of a portly gentleman and says that he doesn't deserve this shot at the WWE title. Then out comes Kevin Owens to a bit of a mixed reaction. He says that for 5 long months he's sat at home watching Raw, watching SmackDown, apparently didn't watch NXT, didn't watch 205 Live, didn't watch Main Event, didn't watch Shotgun Saturday Night, didn't watch Jacked. Amateur. Owens said that he knew exactly who he was coming after upon his return to the WWE and that he was going to be the one to shut up Daniel Bryan's condescending mouth. Daniel Bryan with some more fat jokes. He runs down the audience. You know the score by now. Long story short, KO says that he's going to beat Daniel Bryan at Fastlane and then attacks Eric Rowan, tosses him over the top rope, goes for Daniel Bryan, but Rowan makes his way back into the ring. The numbers game is too much. Owens gets hit with the, I don't know what it's called, the face slam. You know the thing, laying Kevin Owens out to close the segment. A decent enough opening to the show. This one gets a B. Both Kevin and Bryan are obviously absolutely fantastic on the mic. They're really good when they're working together also, but I also feel like we didn't really learn anything new. Like I didn't come out of this segment feeling more hyped for the match at Fastlane, so can't grade it any higher than a B. Sorry Daniel, sorry Kevin. Kevin's a weird name for a wrestler, isn't it? Kevin. Next up, singles action, The Miz versus Jey Uso. Of course, The Miz and Shane McMahon will take on the Usos on Sunday night for the SmackDown tag titles. Before the match, the Usos run down The Miz and Shane McMahon in what was actually a really funny promo. Jimmy Uso saying that Shane McMahon wanted to jump off the WrestleMania sign was absolutely terrific, and I'm glad that these two were afforded a little bit of mic time just to try and make that Fastlane match feel a bit more special. Miz and Shane then come out, they grab mics, and Miz says that he's going to make his daddy George very proud indeed, and that they are going to lock down the SmackDown tag titles, and that will be ours! And then a fight breaks out, straight to commercial. Okay. As for the match itself, a pretty average one. Miz controls at the beginning, Jimmy tries to assist Jey in a pinfall attempt but doesn't get it because he's taken out with the best clothesline in the world, courtesy of Shane McMahon. Miz hits the skull-crushing finale and picks up the win. That's your lot. The match gets a C. I'm not especially bothered about seeing the Miz and Shane versus Usos in a match again, but I am intrigued by what's going to probably happen after the match. I think we all agree that this is likely going to be the time that we're going to see the heel turn, we're going to see the Miz and Shane McMahon break up, but which one of them will turn heel? The Miz is the obvious answer, but I would love to see heel Shane McMahon at this point. Next up, it's US title open challenge time as R-Truth channels his childhood hero, John Cena. But he didn't realise that John Cena defended the belt every single week. Funny stuff from R-Truth, but who answers the challenge? It's Lacey Evans! Except, of course, it's not. She's just being a massive cocking bellend like always. She walks down, she walks back up. Wonderful stuff. Great booking. Good job, guys. No! Instead, it's Samoa Joe, but not just Samoa Joe. It's also Andrade and Rey Mysterio. Fatal 4-way action. And what a match this was. Joe in total control for the first 50% of the match. He hits this amazing flying forearm through the middle rope to Andrade on the outside, and he just looks like a total and utter beast. He is demolishing everybody the exact way that he should have been booked all along. Finally! There's more great action between Andrade and Rey Mysterio. I don't need to explain just how wonderful these two are together. I'm really glad that they've got a match at Fastlane. Yeah, it's on the pre-show, but it's going to be brilliant. It could be the best pre-show match of the year. They're just so good. Anyway, it looks as if Rey Mysterio is going to win. So Zelina Vega has been taken out on the outside after attacking R-Truth. It's just two men in it, right? Andrade, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio hits the 619, goes up, hits the splash. It looks like it's all over. Then out of nowhere, Samoa Joe with a senton, and he picks up Andrade, spikes him down. 1, 2, 3. Your new US champion, Samoa Joe. You love it. I love it. Vintage Pacitti. You love it! This absolutely gets an A. I feel like I say this every time somebody picks up the US title. Like with Nakamura, I was so happy about it. He could have made that title his own, but he wasn't afforded that opportunity. But this is absolutely the opportunity that Samoa Joe needs. He should be absolutely demolishing all of the mid-card for months and months and months. Give him a decent, lengthy title reign and just have him kill everybody. Totally, he's so good. He's the total package. He's got mic skills. He's amazing in the ring. He's a very unique looking wrestler. He's just wonderful. We saw a backstage promo after the match with Samoa Joe where he was intense and brilliant. And honestly, I'm just so happy that Joe is finally getting this chance, because for so long he always falls at the final hurdle. He couldn't conquer AJ. Okay, that's fair enough. But also then when it matters, he doesn't win. He was first eliminated from the Elimination Chamber. He was first eliminated during the match at Survivor Series. This is what he needs. Let him take that ball and run with it. It's great. It's really great. Please hold it for a year, Joe. And now it's time for tag action. I don't know why I started talking like WWE commentary. It's the team of Ricochet and Aleister Black taking on The Bar. That's up next. The Bar, being the fantastic heels that they are, try to slow things down immediately, isolating Ricochet, Cesaro majorly working on his arm, and then Ricochet makes a bit of a comeback and manages to get the hot tag, tags in Aleister Black. Black, with some of his signature offense, ends up hitting the Black Mass on Cesaro, and Ricochet with the 630, and that is your lot. Ricochet and Aleister Black win the match, and that's it. Except it's not, because outrun Rusev and Nakamura, they beat down the faces, but then the save is made by the Hardy Boys, and Matt is wearing his original, like, red velvety number from back in the day, and it still fits, and he looks wonderful. Well done, Matt. This segment finishes with the baby faces standing tall and gets a B-. Not too much to say about the match itself. It was a good match, as we would expect from these four guys, and it's weird, isn't it? Because Aleister Black and Ricochet, obviously they're challenging for the Raw tag titles at Fastlane, so I understand why they would want to keep the focus on those guys, but maybe just save it for Raw. I think this was a little bit unnecessary, but an entertaining match nonetheless. Next up, it's Mandy Rose versus Naomi in a match that nobody wants to see again. Naomi starts off hot, Sonya Deville causes the distraction, knee, bed of roses, and that is it for the match. It lasted about a minute. The match gets a D. Naomi looks silly, Mandy Rose still doesn't feel like a credible threat to Asuka, and although it's introduced the idea that Sonya Deville could play a part in that match on Sunday night, I would argue that this match did more harm than good for both of the competitors. It was not great. A cool moment after the match, so Mandy Rose and Sonya are heading up the ramp, their backs are to the entranceway, and then appears Asuka in her mask, and she just absolutely murders both of them and stands tall, and Mandy Rose still doesn't feel like a threat, but maybe Sonya will play a part. Something needs to happen with the SmackDown Women's title. We're very close to WrestleMania now. Asuka needs some real competition. In my mind, I'd rather see that be Sonya Deville. We'll see. Next up, it's Kevin Owens versus Rowan with my boy Daniel Bryan on commentary. Eric Rowan, he's not Eric Rowan anymore. Rowan manhandles KO at the beginning of this match. KO rolls out of the ring, and Daniel Bryan's getting all up in his face, basically just calling him fat again. Kevin Owens punches him, but then gets thrown into the ring steps by Rowan, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan just lay in the punches on Kevin Owens. It looks like they're about to throw him through the announce table when all of a sudden Mustafa Ali's music hits. He comes down, makes the save. Unfortunately, the save doesn't quite work out as Mustafa Ali gets caught with a knee by Daniel Bryan. He gets thrown back into the ring, and Daniel Bryan is about to do that thing where he grabs the arms and just stomps on their bloody head absolutely loads. But Daniel Bryan gets caught with a stunner by Kevin Owens. I guess solidifying the fact that that is indeed Kevin Owens' new finisher, which I love because he does a great stunner now. And that's the end of the segment. The two pairs stare down to close things off. Actually really enjoyed this. Obviously the match wasn't all that, lasting mere minutes, but it introduced the idea that Rowan could be the deciding factor on Sunday, and it's great to see Mustafa Ali back. Have yourselves a B+, boys. So before last night, I think most of us thought that we were going to get Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania, possibly Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. But yeah, after last night, Mustafa's involvement, and then the backstage promo between Randy Orton and AJ Styles, I'm starting to think that we might be in for a big old multi-man at WrestleMania, maybe featuring 6 top guys. Who knows? Saucy stuff. Final segment now. Charlotte Flair earlier in the night invited Becky Lynch to come and join her and have a bit of an old chinwag in the ring. Good of Charlotte Flair to invite Becky Lynch to the brand that she's on. But will she accept the invitation? Yes, of course she will. Charlotte mocks Becky for a few minutes and then out-hobbles the man herself and says that she's in the head of Ronda Rousey, she's in the head of Charlotte Flair, and hey, she might be injured, but she's dangerous because she's got nothing left to lose. Then all of a sudden, Charlotte Flair attacks Becky Lynch, going straight for the leg with the crutch, but Becky manages to counter, lock in the disarm her, screaming, "I'm gonna rip your arm off!" I can't do the voice, we all know that. It takes about a minute for the referees to get down to the ring and finally manage to get Becky to release the hold, but it's clear that the damage has been done. Charlotte selling the arm as the two stare down to finish this episode of SmackDown. So hear me out, I'm in two minds about this, because after Raw on Monday, WWE had presented the question of Becky's ability to even compete in her match with Charlotte Flair on Sunday night because of the beatdown by Ronda Rousey. Would she be able to? Would she not? And with this promo, you've removed all of that intrigue, because Becky Lynch has now come out on top. It's obvious that she's going to be a part of that match. And I think that's a bit of a shame. Sometimes WWE less is more, and I do feel like this segment was perhaps a little bit unnecessary. The story would have had more intrigue, more suspense, more drama had it not happened. So yeah, I feel like this has made the Becky-Charlotte match a little bit more predictable. On the other hand, the promo work was largely good. I'm going to give this one a C+, because as I say, it felt a little bit unnecessary. It was a cool moment, but it didn't quite work for me. Go on, flame me in the comments. Do people still say flame? Feels like RuneScape. Overall, another decent episode of SmackDown, which gets a B. Samoa Joe winning the US title was the highlight by a country mile, which I've never really understood. It's longer than a city mile. The worst part of the show was Mandy Rose versus Naomi, which was rubbish. It was rubbish. Before I go, I normally finish with a joke, but there's not going to be a joke this week because I've actually got something very serious to talk about. It's very, very sad to hear that Dylan Postel, better known by WWE fans as Hornswoggle, was the victim of a crime this week, and I wanted to take this moment to send my support to him. Apparently, he was at an indie show in Amarillo, Texas, and was the victim of a pickpocketing, and you know, that is absolutely disgusting. I don't know how anyone could stoop so low. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.